Thank you for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Sarah Horbacewicz, joined by meteorologist Simone Thomas. Now, Simone, we all know it's been a cold start to the weekend already, but these temperatures are just going to keep dropping, right?
That's right, Sarah. As you can see, we're taking a quick look across the country. That big cold front bringing in that cold, frigid Arctic air is starting to move a little bit further south. We're seeing some of that cold air spilling into more of the mid-south, even northern portions of Texas, starting to feel some of the impacts. As far as here in the state of Arkansas, we're seeing more of those impacts across northwest Arkansas. As this front starts to move further south, we'll see more of those cooler temperatures across the board. But right now, here's the temperature difference: 20 degrees in Fayetteville versus 49, almost 50 degrees in Pine Bluff. So that's a almost 30 degree difference ahead of the front and behind the front. Again, as that continues to move through overnight and we dip below freezing, we're going to stay below freezing for the next several days. Tomorrow's high looking to be half of what we saw today, in the middle 20s. Now we're going to be talking about the snow coming up later on this weekend, so make sure you stick around.
Yes, Simone, and this week crowds are already swarming to grocery and hardware stores in preparation for that cold. And stores like Fuller & Sons Hardware have been preparing for those shoppers, stocking up on winter supplies. They say they still have ice melt available if you need it. Just call ahead to their different locations to check. The one they're selling more than they thought: faucet covers. Now, if you get to the store and they don't have what you need, they still have some advice.
So when we do run out of the faucet covers, this is something we started doing years ago. We'll take insulation that you can put over the faucet, outdoor faucet, put a plastic bag over it to weatherproof it, and then you could just take a zip tie, a rubber band, or tape to secure it to the faucet. You could do the same thing at home with a towel in any plastic bag and just any way to secure it around the faucet.
One more tip: if your house has old school halogen light bulbs, the heat they put off could help keep your pipes from freezing too. The extra heat, along with the dripping faucet, gives some extra protection. Meanwhile, RDOT is working to get ahead of the winter weather, making sure the roads are coated and their manpower is in full effect. RDOT is sending out hundreds of trucks filled with brine ahead of the cold weather. There are concerns when those temperatures dip below 20. The salt brine doesn't work as well, but they still have backup options.
We will mix in beet juice with salt brine. It works in 10, 15, 16, 17 degrees. But if we hit even lower temperatures below 10 degrees, we'll have to go to liquid calcium chloride.
But there are some things you need to keep in mind as well as we all brace for what's ahead. AAA suggests getting your battery checked. A slow startup could mean it needs to be changed soon. In a THV11 update tonight, police in Pine Bluff are investigating a homicide from overnight. Officers responded to 25th Street and Georgia around 8:30 on Friday after calls of gunshots and a traffic accident. At the scene, police found a body with gunshot wounds near a car. The victim was identified as a 16-year-old. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Police have not yet shared any information on possible suspects, but we will keep you updated as we learn more. A Little Rock police officer is now out of a job after assault charges were filed against him. Brad Stewart is accused of pepper spraying a woman while working off-duty at the Taboo nightclub. This incident happened last year on September 17th. According to police, the woman was denied re-entry into the nightclub due to a disturbance. Shortly after, police say she, quote, engaged in an interaction with Stewart before he reportedly sprayed her. She later filed a complaint, which led to an investigation and Stewart being charged with second-degree assault. When we reached out to LRPD, they told us Stewart was, quote, relieved of his duties. We have also learned the name of the man killed by state troopers on I-40 on Thursday. Investigators say 46-year-old Carlos Rhoda of California fired a gun at two troopers after a traffic stop in North Little Rock. Shortly after, Rhoda was killed. The troopers avoided injury in the encounter. However, this is an ongoing investigation. We're just 2 days out from the Iowa caucuses, and the state is seeing whiteout conditions and record-breaking cold. The severe weather has forced Republican contenders to adapt, and with temperatures forecasted to be in negative double digits on caucus night, many are wondering how the bitter cold will impact voter turnout Monday. Natalie Brand reports from Iowa.
Despite inches of snow on the ground and sub-zero temperatures, the campaigns are trying to plow ahead during this final weekend before caucus night.
They can throw a blizzard at us, and we are gonna fight.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis traversed the state for a series of events, including a stop at the headquarters of the super PAC supporting him. Volunteer Debbie Hettinger says she's made 2,000 calls on behalf of DeSantis since she started volunteering in October.
What do you think DeSantis' chances are?
Well, I think they're very good because they have a really good ground game here. And I think, well, I'm hoping that the snow and the weather doesn't keep people home.
They're now encouraging people to turn out despite the freezing cold. Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley also tried to cover as much ground as possible Saturday to win over undecided voters. But John Urkela has his mind made up.
The Republican Party, we have hemorrhaged suburban women voters. I think someone like her would bring a lot of those voters back to the fold and give us a fighting chance to win again.
Polls show a close race for second between Haley and DeSantis, but both trail former President Trump by double digits in the latest surveys of Iowans. Trump, who's maintained a strong base of support in rural parts of the state, had to cancel rallies planned for Saturday due to concerns about frostbite.
Even with the snow here, I think nothing's going to keep a Trump person from being out at the caucuses on Monday.
Mother Nature delivering an unexpected blow, with campaigns trying to ensure their supporters turn out on what's expected to be the coldest caucus night in history. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Iowa.
Temperatures for caucus night are forecasted to be well below zero as caucus goers gather at precinct locations across the state. Tonight, the Pearls Foundation partnered with the Chi Eta Omega chapter of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, working to hand out hundreds of backpacks in Central Arkansas. It was the 11th annual Homeless Backpack Project as part of Martin Luther King Day of Service celebrations. With the help of over 150 volunteers, they packed about 300 backpacks, all filled with toiletries, clothes, and food to hand out to people without shelter.
We want to be a part of the solution, and we know that there is a problem, unfortunately a growing problem in the Central Arkansas area regarding those that are unhomed and those that are females and youth that are filling up the shelters. So we want to make sure that we can do our part and do what we can to make sure that they feel comfortable.
With Martin Luther King Day just around the corner, the weather is causing many other events to be postponed. We have a list with different service events or celebrations right now on our website at thv11.com.